Hello. For my Module 3 discussion, I am asked to share my thoughts after watching the video of how the internet has driven change, and also to share my thoughts about the lecture from Professor Wesh. The internet has evolved tremendously. I remember being younger and sitting at my parents' computer, having to plug in the computer internet cord to the phone dial cord, and just having to wait there what seemed like an eternity for the internet to dial up and connect to the AOL server. And now it's quite amazing how we are able to instantly connect and open up an abundance of pages at the same time and compare our data, switch over with very little effort. And I believe the internet has driven change as in providing different outlets and different opportunities and different more information that we have access to, such as starting from maybe like a healthier way to cook, workouts, how-tos, how to maybe do an oil change on your vehicle, how to change your tire. And this is just speaking about day to day, but it has also provided a great avenue for students who need the extra resources, or an opportunity for a teacher to share different videos on platforms that might explain things differently to a student from a way that's different from the way they would explain it. And I also thought it was very funny whenever the professor was giving his lecture and he spoke about when you're recording yourself on a webcam and watching your own self afterwards and critiquing yourself and maybe re-recording the video a few times until you are happy with the way it came out or content with the way it came out. It's funny because during Module 2, I remember telling myself, it's only going to take me about 10 minutes. It'll be super quick to record my discussion. And I think it took me about an hour. I recorded myself like 17 to 20 times and rewatching every single one to see what I can do differently the next time to make it a little bit better, or how to say a certain word and articulate it where it would sound better being recorded. And I thought it was such a great opportunity to see myself the way maybe others would see me and maybe change my facial expressions so they won't look too crazy. And I thought that was very interesting, and I think it's a great opportunity for others to interact. And I didn't know what to expect, honestly, whenever I was about to click play on his lecture. I just remember seeing 55 minutes, and I just thought it's going to be 55 minutes of misery. But I was pleasantly surprised. It was such a great interactive lecture, and I think it's something that it's so interesting to see, 20 years later, actually longer in his case, how all the changes the internet has gone through and how it can be used for good and how there's so many different opportunities and avenues that we can use. For the podcast that I listen to, I listen to a podcast, Why Compassion is the Best Way to Deal with Behavior. I work with a lot of behavior kids at school, so I tend to focus on things that are going to help me in that aspect. And I do think social media, podcasts, YouTube, blogs are great for students. I think it's a great opportunity to share different forms of thinking, different creative aspects that other people may have that I perhaps won't be so good at. And I think it's such a great opportunity to give the kids tools for assessments, for reflections. I don't think all social media should be allowed, social networking applications. Like I wouldn't give students an assignment to post a poll on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram. That is something I wouldn't do. But I think things such as YouTube, blogs, webcams are such a great opportunity for students and providing different tools that, once again, I mentioned that I wouldn't be able to do. There's so many creative contents out there that I am surprised and amazed that maybe I can teach things a certain way, but probably someone else on YouTube already has a video that teaches them a different way that might be easier for them to understand. And others maybe have more relatable approach than what maybe I will be able to express towards the student. Everyone learns differently, everyone learns at different paces, and being able to maybe provide refreshers for the students, maybe after they go home, sending links to them will be a great help as well. I also think it would be a good opportunity like what I'm doing here, to have the students maybe reflect with themselves in an app like Photo Booth and talk and express themselves maybe during the class, or maybe there'll be a project that we can do that will implement these tools for them. Whenever I viewed my podcast, I always have used Apple Podcast app. It's very simple. It's there. I feel like the engine is pretty easy to search through and very self-explanatory. Everything's very clear and very precise. And this is the end of my discussion for Module 3.